Hey, flower friends. It is your friend in flowers, Lisa Mason Ziegler, and pretty happy to be here with you guys tonight. We are having another cold one here in southeastern Virginia, but I feel so fortunate when I see what's going on in other places. We have ice, but nothing like what many are suffering with, and I just hope that you're able to stay warm and are making out okay in all of this craziness. Um, so once you're live, if your stream is public, you'll find at the top of the stream. I don't know what this means. There. Sorry, my friends. So can't wait to talk to you tonight about the Flower Farmer Club. I promised everybody that I would kind of show them around inside the club a little bit. And so if we've never met before, first off, my name is Lisa Mason Ziegler, and I own the Gardener's Workshop. And what started out back in 1998 is a little backyard flower farm. I was literally a novice gardener that just dove in after I learned about flower farming and just took off with that. Became a very successful, high production city flower farm for about 15 or 18 years, I guess. And then we kind of moved into the education, helping other people to actually do it and help them get started and kind of get their sea legs under them. And this flower farming club was literally something that I didn't realize what it was, that I've dreamed about for many, many years, to be there to help and support flower farmers. No matter all the knowledge you have, then doing it every day, the practical application isn't always so clear when you're learning how to do stuff. So anyway, so that's what I'm here tonight to show you around a little bit, because our club is not open all the time to memberships, to new members. And so it's open now. And so I just want to kind of take you inside and show you around. And, what is the real point of this club? For me, it is the support system for flower farmers, particularly beginner flower farmers, people that are really just getting in. And I consider anybody under 5 years, after doing this for so long, I even think I went beyond 5 years, where I really was still struggling so very, very much on how to get everything done, what to do, what not to do, where to get what I need, just so many day-to-day issues. And I dreamt that this club is actually the answer to plug that hole of your problems, because, starting a business is really a big deal. Starting a flower farming business is kind of two big deals, right? And having support and confidence of getting good answers really can help you go such a long way. I know for me personally, how everything changed after I got good information and a support system. So the Flower Farmer Club is a membership. And if you aren't familiar with what memberships are, I thought maybe the very first thing I ought to tell you about is, what is the difference between courses and memberships? So courses, as an example, my flower farming school online basics class, that's a course. Courses you purchase, no matter how big and small they are, with us anyway, you purchase them and you have lifetime unlimited access to them. You can watch the videos as many times as you want. And there's downloads and PDFs and all kinds of stuff in there. It's yours. You just access it through the internet. It's yours forever. You bought it, you paid for it. It's just like buying a book, but instead of picking up the book to read, you pick up a device that has internet and log in, and your stuff is right there. Memberships are very different from that. Memberships are where you pay a monthly fee, or you can buy it annually for a savings. But it's just like you joining the gym or Weight Watchers, let's say. You pay to go every week or however often you go. And when you want to stop paying or you want to stop going, you stop paying. So it's like you don't go to the gym anymore, after your membership is over, right? Well, that's very much the same way that this membership works. You pay a monthly fee or you buy the annual, and you have access to all the resources that are inside the membership as long as you are a member. And you can indulge yourself as much as you want. You can watch videos over and over. And we'll talk in a minute about all the stuff that's in there. But that's the really big difference. And the really thing that I love about this whole model is that you can join for 1 month and kind of go in and get your feet wet. But even better than that, that whole concept is what has led us on this open enrollment to offer a 7-day free trial. And so we'll talk more about all of that in a minute. So I want to go inside and poke around, and let's just go ahead and do that. I should say that I'm going to be taking you in on a desktop version of our membership. You can watch and access your club on a laptop, on a desktop, on a tablet, and on a phone. We actually have an app, and this is what it looks like. It's coming up. The app is free. And inside our Learn app, which is what hosts the club, there's actually a free online course in there waiting for you. It's building a trellis tunnel, and you get that free just for downloading the app. Well, once you are a member of the club, you can then log into the community there, and it is so easy to use, y'all. But for intentions of me sharing my screen so you can kind of see what's going on in there, it's a little bit different. And there's a couple of functions that aren't readily available on the app that they are on the desktop, like searching the community board. And so let's go inside. What else did I just want to say to you? And we'll come back to the ways that you can listen and watch and access everything. So y'all, I'm not a tech person, but let me do this. So the first thing I want to do is to take you inside the club, and that's not the one I want. Nope, that's not the one. Wait a minute, y'all. Jesse, which one do I want? Is it that one or is it this one? Nope, there's Jesse.
I think, unfortunately, we are not live on Instagram. So whichever one you like in the horizontal version.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jesse. Y'all, without my team here, I don't know what I do. So let me just figure this out. All right, that looks like the best. Or in fact, I think I'm going to actually remove myself so that y'all have the club full screen. So there is the club. Now, what I'm going to do is go over here to the club so I can move us around. Okay, so if you look over here on the left, there is actually, and I always have to come back and look and make sure that y'all are seeing what I'm seeing you are. Over here on the left are some of your choices. On your phone, that list is actually below this welcome video. And so let's just take a look. Post here, that's where the community board is, which is just like it works and looks kind of like Facebook, where you can post and do all of those things. The challenges, that is where we'll go and visit those. That's where we kind of do challenges from time to time. The meetups is where our live events take place. And then the club library is where the recorded resources are. And we are currently at the start here. So start here. So that's a little welcome video, which I'm not going to play it. And then below that, it has a suggestion of how to get started, to complete your profile, introduce yourself, which is actually in the challenges over here. And we're going to see that. And then to go into where the live meetups are and RSVP, whether you're coming, and then go and download the free mobile app. So you'll have access to it not only on your desktop or laptop, but on your phone. And so there's also member information here. This is where the form is that you can submit questions before the live if you aren't able to be there. There's the community guidelines. And then we would love for you to share your experiences with us, to give us member feedback. We really appreciate that. So let's start off first with post here, and that is the community board. So this is just like basically a Facebook group, but it's not Facebook. And you can see across the top here, these are posts that Jessie is the admin here in the club. And Jessie pins the latest happening that's going on, things, resources that we have actually pinned, as well as like, here's my Bupleurum hack video. It's pinned to the top, right across the top here. You can see that there's several things that she has pinned to the top. So those are things that we feel like a lot of people are looking for, and we hold them at the top. But down here below, and I actually just made a post showing one of my little demo cutting gardens. You know, we're having a really cold winter here, colder than normal, like than we normally do. And so we're watching under our tunnels, and I just shared a video of underneath my tunnels that showed that everything just looked so great. And you can see, Frank, somebody's already commented. But anyway, we have lots of posts in here, people asking questions. I was wondering if we all ever start Bells of Ireland indoors, you know, things that, can I use biodegradable film more than a year? I mean, there's just so many great posts going on in here. And this is one of the live meetups that Jessie has posted to remind everybody, here's how you can do a question. There's just lots of stuff going on. Then we have lots of members that are posting what's going on their little farms and just asking for ideas and affirmations. There's just so much in here on the board. And there I was posting about welcoming. We have so many new members that have come on board. And so this is where you can ask questions every single day while you're in the club. You can post pictures, you can connect with other people. So this is the community board. Now, the challenges that I mentioned is where we actually, let's see all of them here. There is a grow new to you cool flower this season. That's a really fun thing to do. Like, what I did is I planted lupins this year, and I haven't grown them for like 20 years, y'all. And I'm having great results, by the way. Anyway, there's people posting stuff that they're trying for the first time. But down here is where we recommend all new members and old members, if they haven't done it. This is where you introduce yourself. And friends, it's so amazing how you'll find people that might even be near you. So these are all members that have introduced themselves and telling about what they're doing or what they're going to be dreaming of doing. So that is a really fun place. And then over here, and see, I'm over here on the left, I'm just going to the meetups. And so this is where we do two different live events. One is monthly and one is weekly. The sew-in circle that you see right here happens on Wednesdays at 2:00. And you can actually sign up, just means that you're RSVPing, and that means you can get a little reminder to remind you to come. The sew-in circle is where I usually am sowing some seed. And a lot of members do the same thing at the same time. And I just share what's going on the farm. Then monthly, we have the Flower Farmer Forum. That is, wait a minute, y'all. That is where we do a live meetup, and people can submit questions beforehand, like if maybe they can't be there or something. both of these are recorded, so you can go back and watch them later. And so I also take live questions the night of the actual live Q&A, and it's called the Flower Farmer Forum. And I always kick that live Q&A off with a mini training. And it's kind of something that's of the season. A lot of times I'll talk about harvesting issues with specific flowers that, like cool flowers when they're blooming, and celosias, and just all that kind of stuff. So you can see down below. So these are the current ones that are coming up. Down below here is where you can access the recordings for previous ones. So over here, the club library, and the way that I remember this, y'all, the meetups is where the live stuff is. The club library is where the pre-recorded resources are. So up here, let me get to the top. Hit the wrong button there. So the club library is where you find the master classes as well as the Bloomcast. So, and there's always these little messages here, new to the club, click here, and it's going to give you some helpful information. So here's the latest master class. Master classes drop the middle of the month. There's one a month, a gentle way to plan your year. And you see right here, show all master classes. If you click that, actually twice, then you can scroll through and see all the different master classes that are in here. And there's quite a few of them, y'all. And you can go back and watch any of these. So that's where all the master classes are. And then to shrink this down to see the Bloomcast, just go up here and click the show all master classes and the Bloomcast. The Bloomcast is my private podcast for the club members, right? So the content that you find in my club is made for my club members. It's not, you might see a post on the community board of a video that I may have shared somewhere else, but all of the resources are made for this club. So here is right here, show all broadcasts. Click it twice and it brings it up. You can listen to it right here. Start where you are. That was a really good one. Find and joy and rest in the quiet season. There's just all of these different podcasts that you can listen to. And I mean, having the phone app on your phone to be able to listen to these is pretty awesome. From chaos to rhythm, harvesting and conditioning, early spring marketing, planning for profit, taking a break, lean on your resources. Y'all, there's really a lot of resources in here. And, I know that for me, when my flower farm was going strong, and this is the live training and Q&A Flower Farmer Forum. So let's just go back over here to start here. So this is when you log in where it's actually going to dump you into. So let me come back over and I am going to remove that. Bring myself back up for a minute. Now, so the club just has so many resources, y'all. And Jesse, has posted in the comments, if you guys have any questions about the club, please do not hesitate to ask. If you've never been in a membership before, I know that people have questions. I had questions when I joined my first one, and they are all very, very different. So we're happy to answer that. Now I want to take you over. Can only share one page at a time. So stop screen share, and let me. I'm just still amazed that I'm able to do all this stuff. It's like you can teach old dogs new tricks. So let me see. I'll bring this one up. All right. So I want to show you, and Jesse will put the link in the comments, but this is our website. And right here at the top, this yellow or the gold banner that's across the top says 7-day free trial, learn more and join. You can just click that and it takes you right to the page. And let me just go over here and make sure. See, it did not change, Jesse. And I'm not sure why. It did not change. All right, so let me unshare this, y'all. Remove it and share again. Stop screen. Present. Share. Here we go. Why is it not coming up? Yep, there it is. Okay. Thank you, Jesse. All right. So when you go to thegardenersworkshop.com and hit that link at the top of the gold banner across the top, this is the page you land on. And this tells you all about the club. So there's a video that tells you a little bit about it. Now let me see which one of these am I on. That one. So you can watch that video. Now the club is $19.95 a month, and that you can also buy it annually for $199. And basically, when you buy it annually, you're getting 2 months free. And right now, we are offering a limited time 7-day free trial. That means that you can try it out for 7 days. And we would love to have you come in and join us. Now, you can also request a sneak peek, which means we will email you a piece of one of the master classes. And actually, it's a master class, a Flower Farmer Forum, and a Bloomcast episode, and a sewing circle. So you get little clips from each one of those so you can get more of a feel of what it's like, and you can just put in your email address and get it. So I know I was moving around in the club over here, and this gives you more of a direct look on what actually is included. So we have the monthly live meetup, which is the Flower Farmer Forum, where you can submit questions beforehand and the night of the actual event. That is recorded, so you can go back and watch it if you submit a question and you can't be there live, so you can watch replays. You can also go back and watch previous replays of some of the previous Flower Farmer Forums. Then we have the club master classes. That is basically, I do a program every month for y'all. And it's really a lot of fun. That's what my sister and I actually do on Wednesdays, are create the master classes. And we just love doing these trainings. They're posted monthly. And then we have the group challenges, which I shared how we have the Cool Flower Challenge going on right now. And also the introduction. And, tell us who you are. What are you doing? Are you just getting started? Are you a dreamer? Are you just dreaming about doing something? We would love to meet with you. And then, of course, the networking on the community board. The thing about our community board that is just so different than social media. First off, there's no ads popping up. There's nobody tracking you. And the thing that I love to say to people is you can be 100% vulnerable here. There are no dumb questions, and you can expect to only be supported. And people, I just can't tell you how, whether you come to the board and share a win, people will go to their first farmer's market or whatever, and they sold their flowers. There's nothing like sharing your news with people that get it. And when I say get it, I mean like people that understand what that actually means for you, right? The networking quality, I feel like the community alone is just an incredible confidence builder. And then we also have the Bloomcast. And this is just for the club. And I love making those podcasts. I tend to get a little bit grittier in there than I do for the public. And I just absolutely love making those for timely subject matters for you guys. And so who is this club for? It is for dreaming people, established flower farmers, and even passionate flower gardeners. Because, that's where flower farmers come from, y'all, right? And so it tells you a little bit about me that you can look at. And so when you sign up, you have instant access. And again, you can watch it on a desktop, your tablet, a laptop, and even on your mobile device. And we've got some frequently asked questions at the bottom. And don't hesitate to check those out. And then, friends, if you have any questions, please read some of the club member reviews on here. We just love that we have all 5 stars, and people just are willing to share their experiences, so you can just populate and read more. So you'll find this page over at thegardenersworkshop.com. Don't forget to request the exclusive sneak peek to have a little look inside there. All right, so I'm going to remove that and bring myself back up here. Again, please don't hesitate to actually post any questions if you have them. And I've already mentioned that the big difference between a membership and courses is a membership is more of a temporary. And you know what I think of it as? The courses, for instance, Flower Farm and School of Basics, is a comprehensive foundational course that walks you through setting up a business. I mean, all the foundational business stuff. Then it talks building a working cutting garden, very, very different than a regular flower garden, right? And then who are you going to sell to? Then what are you going to grow? And then starting seeds as a commercial grower, and then actually harvesting and conditioning the flowers. That's like a comprehensive course that you buy it, you own it, it is yours. And so that's what a course is. A membership is just think about joining the gym. You have access to what's in the gym as long as you are a current member. But when you cancel your membership, then you don't have access to it. And it's a really great way to see what it's all about and to be able to test the waters. And to me, the membership, the club is like continuing education. It's like the practical day-to-day application of doing this stuff, gluing all the pieces together that you've learned from wherever you have learned. And something that I like to say to people, particularly now, we have so many great teachers, y'all, in our industry. But I caution you to find your person, whether it's me or somebody else, and kind of stick with that person and go deep, meaning consume all their content. Because when you start, everybody does things a little bit different. And when you, as the student or the learner or the person on the journey, is consuming from multiple different people, and then it's like, well, my goodness, which way do I do it? This way or that way? You waste a lot of your precious time kind of trying to figure that out. I hear about this from people, is why I'm sharing it with you. And because most people that are like us, we have lots of resources that you can consume. If you pick a mentor, you follow them on social, you watch their stuff, you read their blogs, you read their books, you take their courses, you join their membership, you go deep to get the full advantage for whoever it is that you actually pick. But picking 5 is chaos, y'all. It is chaos. And so I just encourage you to pick a person and go deep. And one of the goals that we've had with our resources, and this club is a real stage for that, is trying to make it so easy for you to access and to use it. We have a stellar team at the Gardener's Workshop. We have customer service and we have tech help. And we answer the phone. So you can actually reach us by phone, by email, if you have a problem. And then, of course, in the club, you get to ask questions and you can tag me. I love how in the community, people will ask a question. And sometimes before I can even get there, other members that have been in there for a while will say, oh, you know what, there was a masterclass about that, or whatever the question is. It is a support community that I just absolutely love watching how it is developed and nurturing each other. And I can't emphasize enough the part about customer service. Being able to talk to a person, whether it's on a community board or in person, is pretty priceless and not currently very available. And so we love to just really highlight that. And I'm just reading my notes that I don't forget to tell you guys something. I've told you about all the different ways that you can actually do it. I told you about a mentor. And so if you go over to thegardenersworkshop.com, that's where you can find all that we just looked at, where you can request the free peek inside. And it's like, this is the time of the year that you should go deep on resources. For instance, in the master classes in the club, one of the most enjoyable classes that I did was tending to seedlings. There's a lot about how to start seeds. And there's a lot about growing stuff out in the garden, but you just don't find, we get tons of questions about what is the growing room like? How do you harden off? And all those kinds of stuff. We have a whole master class on that in there, and the real benefit, I would say, to a private membership is that you don't have to sift. It's not like being out on the public airways where you have to decide, is this a reliable resource? And asking a question and getting 20 opinions from people in groups. You don't have to do that. It's really easy to focus. And again, if you want to start a business, these things are essential. Your time is your most precious thing. Being able to get down to the business of what to do and how to do it, and to not have that question mark of, is that answer really right? Is that what I'm really supposed to do? I was just talking the other day about, there's nothing worse than struggling through whatever, a task, a chore, doing something in your garden. And it about kills you. And then you get it done, and then you learn that there was a very simple way to do that, or maybe you didn't even need to do that. Those kinds of things happen all the time from bad advice. And in the club, you don't have to worry about sifting. The other thing is, and you don't realize this until you're really in the trenches doing the work, and that is when you're in this kind of supportive group and have access to resources that you can really depend on, it helps you not to quit. Coming home from the farmer's market, anybody that's gone to farmers markets knows how much work that is. You got to get all that stuff. You got to gather it up. You got to haul it. You got to get there. You got to set it up. And then you don't sell anything or much, or not what you expected. And it's the most deflating thing you could ever do. You come home and you're just ready to just throw in the towel, right? Come into a group like this that are your people, that is your posse, to just be candid and honest and share. And you just won't believe the support, ideas, and questions that you'll be asked. This actually happened last year. And the first question I asked was, so how many people were at that farmer's market, customers? And it turns out that it was a crummy farmer's market. There was no foot traffic, y'all. That is not your deal. Is you need to pick a better farmer's market, which that's a whole nother subject. But it's like, you can't sell to no people, right? And having this kind of support and those hands on your back make all the difference in the world. And the other thing is people coming in and it's like, I understand about being deflated, y'all. I'm ready to quit about, you can ask Jesse, probably like maybe now it's probably only maybe once a month. But back in the day, I was ready to close up shop. I mean, things just deflate you, right? It's like, I called on 5 florists today and none of them are interested in my flowers, or only one of them. Well, guess what, friends? In business, until you've called on 100 florists and haven't gotten any bites, then you say, okay, what am I doing? I got to do something different here. It is hard to start and run a business, and having a support team behind you, this group of members, is just pretty dadgum amazing. And then also binging on all these resources this time of the year. That is my real intention of opening the club now. It's like for the next 2 months, it should be all you're, watching and listening to are the resources, getting them in while you can, while you're not busy. And I could just go on, and let's see. There's a couple of questions here. Let me. So Janet, who must be in the club, is, are we going to have a new group challenge? Janet, we will when the season changes. So right now there's a cool flower challenge going on, which we're kind of still in that mode. But yes, there will be one coming along with spring. And thank you for asking that. And if you have an idea of what a challenge should be, I would love to hear it. I mean, we have challenge ideas too, but we'd love to hear what members would actually like for that to be. Opal, do y'all open the club at certain times, or is it just random? It's not really random. It's when it fits in. Like, for instance, opening it now for people to really have access to all the resources so they can cram while we're in the downtime, right? To really get familiar with the club. So I guess I would say it is random. It's not a set date. Let's put it that way. It's not so much random. It's when it fits into our schedule of other things that we offer. But yes, it's not that we can say, oh yes, it's every January and August or something. But thanks for asking that question. So I am just looking at my notes here. Would love to have you guys join us. And again, 7-day free trial is going on right now. So that means you sign up and you can just cancel, and no money out of pocket for you if you cancel within those 7 days. And would love to have you join and get into, because, we do early. The sew-in circle is something that is really fun. We do that on Wednesdays at 2:00. And when we start early bird sunflowers, which will be starting here before, I just can't believe how time's flying. Y'all, January's gone, right? We'll be doing that before too long. Then we'll be doing sunflowers every week together. Sunflowers, as Dave Dowling would say, if anybody knows Dave, he's the walking encyclopedia for the cut flower industry. That if you're selling and you have customers and you aren't planting sunflowers every week, you might as well throw dollar bills out your window going down the road, is what Dave loves to say. And it's true. And so that's one of the things on the sew-in circle. And we sew other things from time to time. Like I thought because of all this cold, we were 15 degrees here last night. I can't remember when it was 15 degrees here. It's been so long. I thought for sure that I would have lost some stuff. Well, I peeked under my covers today, which is the scariest thing a flower farmer can do in January, to look at your freezing cold, cool flowers. I thought for sure that there'd be some goners on. There'd be somebody just totally down and out, and I would say, well, I'm going to start them again. I thought that's what I would be doing tomorrow. But honestly, I checked under. Even the Ami Green Mist, which is pretty susceptible, looked great. Billy Balls looked the big garden ones looked a little weepy. They aren't dead. They're just shocked. But anyway, so tomorrow on the sew-in circle, it's going to be a surprise what I'm going to be doing, whether it's going to be sowing some seeds or maybe another craft. I do have a Valentine's Day wreath deal that I wanted to do with y'all. So I might just be doing that. So the sewing circle is, and I just kind of tell you what's going on here on the farm, about what we're doing, what seeds we might be starting or what's growing in the grow room. And would just love to have you be a part of that. So my friends, if nobody else has any questions, I really appreciate you guys joining us. Hello, Laurie. And Donna said it was 9 degrees this morning in Richmond. Richmond's about an hour above us. And so it's a really big difference in the weather. We were 15 when we woke up this morning. So my friends, that's another thing. It's like just having support when you're going through weather events is also incredibly helpful, right? So my friends, the membership doors are open until Friday at midnight. You can find it over at thegardenersworkshop.com. The top of every page has a link where it takes you right to the page. You can read more about the club. You can request a sneak peek. You can read student reviews, and would just love to have you join us and to come along for the ride. And it is a lot of I was in there looking today. There's bouquet making master classes. There's a really lot of great master classes in there, y'all. And just, it's really focused on flower farming. So hopefully we will see you on the inside. And if you're in, I'll see you tomorrow in the sewing circle at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Lasts about 30 minutes. And so I hope to see you tomorrow inside the sewing circle. All right, my friends, I'm going to sign off till we meet again. Ciao.